Alright, this is an editor's note here, but Tiana, also known as Def Noodles' ex-employee, who stopped working for Def Noodles because Def Noodles was such a shit employer to her, made a tweet basically saying, "Tell me why TMZ just hit me up saying my ex-boss did an interview saying, quote, I, quote, want to destroy his career, end quote. Why is he dragging this on? Like, bruh, get a life, dead ass." And then shows a tweet saying maybe he can't read, where she shows a screenshot of her tweet saying, "I literally only care about being able to speak freely. I'm not trying to intentionally destroy anyone's career or add to the drama. If I could just finish my storytime video in peace, that would be dope." So basically Def Noodles is getting a TMZ interview about Tiana, and Tiana was just hit up with the TMZ basically saying, "Yo, want to do an interview and respond to the Def Noodles allegations?" Like, Def Noodles, aren't you suing her? Like, what the fuck? I don't think you're allowed to even talk about this case. But, I mean, what else? Screw yourself over. I mean, that lawsuit's pretty retarded anyways. You're probably going to lose it. But, I mean, I guess, hey, if you want to drop a lot of money and lose another lawsuit, I guess, be my guest, I guess. This has gone so bad that now we are making a part 2 of this whole Def Noodles situation. I thought after his first roast battle, everybody would just see how bad it is and just, go away for a bit, like, stop giving the man attention. Because clearly that's all he's craving, attention to promote his dumbass roast battle. But no, he's back for more. So when I uploaded my last Def Noodles video, it was the same day or a couple hours before his super roast battle where he goes up on stage. This is the first time he gets to prove the haters wrong by showing his comedic skills. And he failed at that. One of the major errors that he made is that, well, he just invited a bunch of random people from the streets just to roast them, and nobody knew nobody even knew each other, so they were like, okay, just think of roasts out of your head, just think of the roasts while you look at them for the first time, and it's gone wrong. The jokes of the roast battle were either white people jokes or the famous quotes that Def Noodles has ever said. "Are you from Detroit?" And "You look like my cousin if he were a girl."
You're like my cousin if you were a girl.
Thank you. I bet you cried when you got those tattoos.
I did. Are you from Detroit?
Take a guess.
No.
Yeah, this roast battle was pretty shitty. It was so shitty, in fact, that the Great Moist Critical had to look into it and just shit on it. He didn't have to, but he looked into it, he shat on it, just like everybody else on this. Def Noodles then makes a cope video just saying, "Oh, the roast battles were a success," or "Oh, the roast battles made history," which he doesn't even go into detail of the history being made. Then Moist Critical and Def Noodles had a little bit of a minor drama where they both respond to each other. Nothing too serious. They were just responding to each other one or two, and that's it. And then this happened. So you guys remember when Cavos almost made Def Noodles quit YouTube because of his review on his channel, when Cavos used to do this thing called Make or Break, where you send a donation and tell him to review your channel. Either Def Noodles did this himself or somebody else did it and just told him, "Hey Cavos, review Def Noodles." And then Cavos did it, and then he was like, "Fuck you, your content sucks." And then Def Noodles was bitching and moaning about it, being like, it makes me sad, I've been sad recently, it's he gives out a whole sob story about it, and, gains a lot of sympathy points for it. It's really cringe, but that's the facts that you need to know about it. And I guess those words still hurt Def Noodles till this day, because Cavos recently has challenged Def Noodles to a boxing match, and then Def Noodles, well, based on what I see from these tweets, Def Noodles looked like Def Noodles didn't want to accept a fight. He was just gonna straight up say no. But if he said no, he would look like the biggest pussy in the world. So instead, he decided to counter offer Cavos by, instead of boxing, he would do some like street fighting or some shit like that. And the reason why Def Noodles is dodging the boxing match but going to a street fight instead of a boxing match is because one, well, he doesn't find boxing as a fight. He finds it as a way to like entertainment or like make money off of it. And two, it's because, well, there are rules to boxing. And in that same breath, he also threatens to murder Kavos and also looks like a hypocrite too, because in one of the tweets I showed you, he said that Kavos is desperate for money, but Def Noodles is also the definition of desperate for money. Def Noodles promotes his Patreon, makes a sob story being like, "Oh guys, I'm being deplatformed. Stop deplatforming, stop censorship today by joining my membership. Pay me, or Patreon. Pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me, pay me." Def Noodles, you are as desperate as I don't know, a dog with a toy. That shitty joke. I don't fucking know. Guys, I think I got it now. Def Noodles is more desperate for money than a fish is desperate for water. That's a bad joke, I know, but at least I don't claim to be a big ass comedian like Def Noodles claims to be. At least I don't claim to be this funny ass person. Guys, I'm the funniest man in the world. I'm the I'm funny. But then I flop on stage. At least I'm not like that. Let's take our eye out of Def Noodles for a little while. Now we have to talk about his co-host, Steven. Let's give a little bit of background to the story. So, Def Noodles has invited a YouTuber called Salvo Pancakes to his roast battle, where him and Salvo will be duking it out, battling it out, being the true people. And then Steven has decided to make a tweet prior to the roast battle saying, "Gonna be knocking out racist YouTubers on the 2nd." And then Steven got a bunch of backlash for this because Steven was eventually pushing people away from this Def Noodles event because he's like threatening to shoot people, and he got into a bit of argument with a bunch of people on Twitter. He also went on some weird rant about Papa Gut, saying he was asked if he was calling Papa Gut a racist. Steven responds with, "I suspect he's not only racist, most of his following are clearly Proud Boy Scout, Summer League, tryout recruits, but I couldn't prove it. Only another racist can validate my evidence." He's talking about Papa Gut in this tweet, where all he literally did was just, I don't even know what Papa Gut did to like piss off Steven. Maybe like he just went after Def Noodles and Steven is a ride or die for Def Noodles. He would suck his cock at any moment in the year. But Jesus, dude, like what the fuck is wrong with you? And now we get to the roast battles. As I said earlier in this video, Def Noodles has invited Salvo Pancakes to come over to his club and roast the fuck out of him. Because Def Noodles has been saying, dang, these trolls would all talk all that shit on the internet, but they wouldn't say it to my face. So Salvo took the offer, was like, okay, bet, went to his roast battle, because the way Def Noodles promotes his roast battle these days is called pull up or shut up. So Salvo decided to pull up because he didn't want to shut up. And let's just say the roast battle was the worst thing to ever experience in life. And let's just move on. Let's talk about the day leading up to the roast battle. Def Noodles uploads a video saying, "My life has been threatened," and in that video he shows a camera footage, like a footage on security camera footage of Salvo Pancake showing up to his comedy club. You know, the comedy club that you're supposed to pull up to, the comedy club that you were supposed to roast him in. He pulls up there, he takes a look at the facilities, he just peeks through the window and shit. Trying to check out the place and shit like that, and then, made a Twitter video about it, riding in his little scooter, being like, "Oh, Fatozo, let me in, you fat fuck!" And Dennis took that as a threat. Yeah, so we already had some bad blood leading up to the roast battle. We've all been excited for this. We were all excited to see Salvo Pancakes come up there and roast Def Noodles. Salvo Pancakes even went live before when entering his roast battle, and most of the fans were cheering for him, and he asked, "Who are you here for?" And they were like, "We're here for Salvo pancakes." Like, nobody wanted to see Deaf Noodles. It's basically Salvo's crowd now. This is Salvo's convention now. But once Salvo got inside the comedy club where all the comedy shit is in, that's where things go from hell. Like, all hell broke loose from here. So Salvo was in the crowd, being part of the audience, but you know what's something funny that he mentioned in there? So, from the front door to the stage, it took 10 steps to get from the front door to the stage. So, that's how big Deaf Noodles' comedy club is. It's not even that big. I'm pretty sure it's as big. I'm pretty sure my bedroom is bigger, and it doesn't have a fucking bathroom in it. So while the whole comedy shit was there, while people were waiting for the show to start, Salvo decided to hype up a crowd, and they were all chanting Red Bar or some shit, having a good time. The Deaf Noodles' bitch ass decided to come from behind and push Salvo from fucking, I don't know. He decided to push him off the stage, and then all hell broke loose again.
Red Bar, 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 Red Bar.
Now guys, Deaf Noodles does not look like a comedian here, or he doesn't look like a tough motherfucker. Deaf Noodles looks like a fucking loser who can't take a fucking joke. Salvo Pancakes was doing a job. Was Salvo Pancakes kind of being a fucking ass? Was he being, pushing over the line? Yes, he was. It was totally uncalled for. But you know what's even more uncalled for? Getting pushed from behind simply because you didn't like the fucking joke, or simply because you didn't like the fact that the crowd likes Salvo instead of you. No need to fucking assault somebody over a fucking joke. And guess what? It's a fucking roast battle. It's a comedy club. Isn't you're supposed to be roasted. It's a roast battle, dude. Why did you need to feel to push him from behind? Oh, because he's threatening. Dude, you are such a loser, dude. Alright guys, now that Deaf Noodles is a drama channel, since Deaf Noodles is a drama channel, I wanted to look back and see what he said about Will Smith and Chris Rock, because based on what happened with Salvo Pancakes and Deaf Noodles, this was basically YouTube's version of Chris Rock and Will Smith. So I wanted to see what was Deaf Noodles' thoughts and opinions on the Will Smith versus Chris Rock thing.
Smith doesn't look like a crazy father like Richard Williams. Will Smith looks like a fucking loser who can't take a fucking joke. Chris Rock was there doing a job. Was the joke on Jada bad? Yes, it was an awful fucking joke. It was absolutely uncalled for. But you know what's even more uncalled for? Getting smacked around because you're doing your fucking job. No need to fucking assault someone on international television because you didn't like the fucking joke. And by the way, it's Oscar fucking tradition to roast the people who are sitting in the front row. Literally everyone got it before Will Smith.
Yeah, if this thing doesn't scream hypocrisy, I don't know what else screams hypocrisy. The worst part of all this is that Salvo wasn't even given a chance to even roast Deaf Noodles. He was given a mic, but he was only able to say like 2 or 3 words in there. And then Deaf Noodles in the video, he tried bitching out in the competition, or at least tried getting Salvo out of there by saying, "My friends are 20 years experience of comedians, and they say you should not have a mic, or he should build his own comedy club, and then he could get a mic that way." Like, dude, you are inviting random people from the streets to come and roast each other, and you invited Salvo to come in and start roasting you. What the fuck do you mean, build his own comedy club so he can get a chance on the mic? What the fuck is that? Then Deaf Noodles the next day decided to go bitch and moan on his podcast about, Salvo Pancakes, because Salvo Pancakes was apparently being an asshole, he decided to cause a ruckus in his comedy club, but just like any typical Deaf Noodles, he becomes a walking, talking hypocrite. So Def Noodles is bitching and moaning that Sable Pancakes went to his comedy club and became a bit of an ass, a bit of a disruption. But later does he know, Def Noodles, once again, becomes the walking, talking hypocrite that he is. So not too long ago, Def Noodles went to Ace Family Fest, where Austin McBroom and the Ace Family hosted this event called Ace Family Fest, which performs like shit, by the way. But it was basically this fest where, you get, it's a carnival game, and the Ace Family just put up a carnival game. You get to do all that shit, blah 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 blah. And then Def Noodles went up to Austin McBroom and said to his face the hard-hitting question: "How do I learn to scam as good as you?"
How you doing? I'm a big fan, dude. Huge fan.
Like a little star.
Oh yeah, I love it. So I want to ask you some life advice.
Yeah.
How do I learn to scam as good as you?
Scam?
Yeah, this guy's definitely a wannabe idol with that dumbass clip going around. And I guess Def Noodles decided to take Austin McBroom's life advice, where, you don't promise, you don't always fall through with your promises, and he decided to tell his fan base that he is going to perform on a live comedy club in Vegas.
Everyone, hope you're having an amazing day today. I don't know if you can tell from my voice, but the roast battles yesterday were absolutely amazing, the greatest ones we've ever done. And you're never going to believe what I did right afterwards. I ended up driving immediately to Las Vegas because I'm doing a show with the great TJLT at the LA Comedy Club. You can get your tickets right now to watch this show. It's going to be an amazing show over at the LA Comedy Club with the great TJLT. You don't want to miss out. It's at 11:30 p.m. in Las Vegas. A lot of fun. Check it out. Get your tickets now.
And he provides a link to buy tickets for his big stand-up comedy, the classical good old comedy Def Noodles, You should buy tickets. But here's the problem. The site's down, and Def Noodles deletes the tweet. Yeah, people were now that the website and now with Def Noodles deleting the tickets tweet, people are now speculating, is Def Noodles even going to be in that comedy club? So, a YouTuber called AugieRFC decided to call the venue, basically saying, hey, is Dennis Faitosa or Def Noodles performing in this comedy club? And this is how the people answered.
LA Comedy Club.
Yo, what's up? So I'm calling to ask if I heard this guy Dennis Faitosa was performing tonight at 11:30, but I clicked on the Eventbrite link to buy tickets, and it says the event is unavailable.
Yeah, he's not performing. I've never heard of the guy.
You've never heard of the guy? That's weird because he's claiming on his social media account with 100,000 followers that he was performing tonight. He's been hyping up this event and tweeting out tickets and stuff, so I'm just a little confused.
Yeah, I'm confused myself. I've gotten like 2 calls about this guy. I've never heard of him. We have sometimes comics show up to my club expecting what we call a guest spot, which is like a quick little 5-minute like audition or something.
Yeah.
Maybe he assumed he's doing that. I don't know. I've never heard of the guy. So.
Wow, it's fucking crazy, man. All right, well, thanks for letting me know at least.
All right, no problem.
So Def Noodles is now backed into a corner, basically exposed for lying about being in this quote-unquote comedy club, or this amazing comedy club that, he would show the haters that he is the real deal. And turns out he's not even performing. So when asked about it, Def Noodles responds aggressively, basically saying, they canceled the whole show because they got over 300 calls from incels around the world clenching their buttholes about me performing. Don't worry, I'll be back, in all caps. Like, dude, does this guy even know what caps lock is? Then a couple days go by, then Def Noodles continues to bitch moan, goes on his co-podcast, fantasizes about beating the living shit out of Salvo when all he did was just push him from behind, and he's too pussy to do it to his face. Def Noodles fantasizes about beating the living fuck out of Salvo. He also his comedian friends are also so weird too. They're also fantasizing about how comedians are like these big, evil, tough people, and that if you mess with them, oh, you're going down swinging. You are done for. Because they were saying shit like, dude, if he were to say that into any other comedy club, he would have gotten his ass beat. I think he would be banned from every comedy club. It's like, dude, if those comedy clubs ran the same way you do, then it's not really comedy. Then it's just lame Karen bitchy behavior.
Comedians
If it
don't
were
go to
any other
places to
comedy club, he
disturb.
would have gotten his ass beat like straight up. Wouldn't have even been carried out. He would have just had his ass beat.
That's what I'm saying. I just left the improv. He could have never done that.
No.
And whatever he considered a set would have never be performed.
Wow, Dennis, is that really how comedians are? They say one joke that crosses the line, they say a couple jokes that crosses the line, and then they're gonna and then you were like, oh, they're just gonna beat your ass, they're gonna show you who's boss, you're gonna toughen up, you are gonna die in that, like, you are not safe in the comedy world. It's like, Dennis, what are you saying right now? Like, Dennis, you're making it out like comedians are just gonna beat your ass, like, if you say one bad joke. Like, I don't know, Dennis. I mean, you said a ton of bad jokes and your ass hasn't gotten beat yet. So, I mean, I don't get it. And you're just making comedians look bad at this point. You've made comedians look bad. I think Amy Schumer has, if it were a competition between you and Amy Schumer on who would make comedians look bad, you would come out on top on making comedians look bad than Amy Schumer does. If that's like your life goal of being a comedian, congratulations, Deaf Noodles. You are the male version of Amy Schumer.
Been carried out. He would have just had his ass beat.
That's what I'm saying. I just left the improv. He could have never done that.
No.
And whatever he considered a set would have never be performed.
Yeah, these guys are such fucking losers, dude. They don't know what a joke is. The only jokes that they know is white people and pussy. That's the only jokes they know. That's the only jokes they find funny. And, I mean, I don't care about those jokes, but they're not funny. But whenever someone finds something else that's funny, they bitch and moan, bitch and moan, bitch and moan, bitch and moan, and just cry on their co-podcast. Truly pathetic. Then Deaf Noodles decided to start another Twitter space where he debates 10 of his haters versus 10 of his fans. And then things got a little spurgy. First of all, he kicked somebody out of the Twitter space because he was losing a debate. Second off, there was a guy who entered as a fan and asked about Corey, one of the comedians, the quote-unquote comedians, basically saying, like, hey, I just want to let you be aware that Corey assaulted my brother, and and then Deaf Noodle was like, you're a fucking troll, I hate you, no one fucking loves you, kill yourself. Oh yeah, and people were also telling Deaf Noodles to go kill himself as well. But, okay, so then, anyways, Corey, who is another comedian, is accused of assault, and Sable Pancakes actually provided the video of Corey's assault.
Corey, chill. Corey, relax. Chill, bro.
I do that to you.
Corey, chill.
I also forgot to mention this, that Deaf Noodles in the Twitter space was defending Corey, basically saying, Corey would never assault anybody. You are just a troll on the internet who is trying to, gaslight me into thinking that Corey assaulted someone. Corey would never assault somebody. But in the footage, you see that Corey did assault somebody. And Deaf Noodles responds to Salvo tweeting that with this. Here's the uncut and unedited footage of what actually happened that night. This person, who went to my club with the sole purpose of disrupting, got kicked out, then caused the scene, and then harassed people outside. I have more footage of this harassment. And he basically shows another angle of Corey, what it looks like Corey putting the guy's brother in a chokehold and pushing him into a car. I don't know what was being said because the audio was really shitty, but I mean, still though, they still have security. I mean, assault's not warranted. They have security. They could have just let security handled it. So Def Noodles confirms the guy's story, basically saying that Corey did assault someone's brother at the, like, it looked like Corey was putting him in a chokehold, pushed him into the car. So yeah, he did confirm the guy's story after arguing with the guy, saying Corey would never assault somebody. But in the footage that Def Noodles provided, Corey in fact did assault someone. And last but not least, we will be talking about Tiana. If you guys don't know Tiana, she is she's one of the people that would regularly appear on the Def Noodles podcast, you know. She was there when Def Noodles was doing his little podcast talking, you know, about like irrelevant shit on the internet as he calls it. And recently she came out with allegations that Def Noodles is a shitty employer. She made a story time on her TikTok basically, you know, talking about her experience with Dennis, not mentioning Dennis by his name, but we all knew that she worked for Def Noodles, and she also mentioned Burning Man, which is actually a vlog Def Noodles posted on his YouTube.
Hi. Okay, yes, so I quit my job. If you know who I work for, you know. You probably understand why I quit, but the main thing that pushed me over the edge was Burning Man. So get this, I had to go on a work trip to Burning Man to record a YouTube video. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm assuming my boss is gonna tell me like what I need to bring or like what to prepare for or like anything. I didn't get any details. I didn't even want to go in the first place, okay? I was getting bad vibe. I just didn't really want to go. So I asked him like a few days prior. I was like, did you already like buy the tickets or anything? Like it just doesn't really go with my schedule. And he like got mad and he's like, I dropped like $4,000 on this trip. Like, you need to let me know if you can't come. I was like, okay, like I'll just go, whatever. So I go, we fly to Reno, we get there. We wait like an hour in line for the rental car place. He goes up with an expired driver's license. How are you? I'm sorry, like, well, how did you think you could rent a car with an expired driver's license? So then he's like, you can do it, like me. And they're like, well, the person who, like, rents the car has to put their card down. So I had to put my card down, like a $400 charge on my card. And so the rental car was under my name. Then we drive to Burning Man, like 3 hours. That shit took 6 hours because he went off-road. He was like, fuck the GPS. I see it over there. Let's just drive straight through the desert. Also, I had half a bottle of water with me that entire time. We were in the middle of the desert, no phone service. He just starts going off-road in the rental car, drives in many ditches. Like, we got stuck at one point. I literally thought I was gonna die. And it was, like, so bumpy. My head fucking was, like, hitting the ceiling. I was anxious the entire time. Like, so anxious. It was like literally one of the worst experiences of my life. It was really bad. And then we finally get to Burning Man, like 5 hours later. We pull up, and then I asked him, I'm like, where are we sleeping? He's like, I'm probably not gonna sleep because I have a lot of work to do, but you can sleep in the car. Oh, okay, that would have been nice to know. I could have brought like a pillow or something. I literally didn't even bring pants. Like I'm wearing shorts and a fucking Gap hoodie. And then we get there, we get the tickets, and he's like, oh, this is like a rave? I thought it was like a hippie commune thing. How the fuck you just drop 4K on a trip and you don't even know what it is? What? I'm like, okay, this guy's not as smart as I thought he was. I didn't even think he was, but I'm like, come on, dude, come on. Like, be fucking for real, okay? Anyways, so we get there. They don't sell water there or food. It's like it was a quick Google search, and I know I could have done it, but it's like I'm going on a work trip. Like I didn't think my boss was dumb enough to not fucking tell me any of this shit. But he didn't do a simple Google search, which if you type in Burning Man, you click on the thing, there's a big thing with a survival guide. It tells you that they don't sell food, they don't like buy or sell goods there. That's just how it is. So there was no water. I had half my water bottle from the airport, and no food, and we were in the middle of the desert, and I had to sleep in the car, and there was no bathrooms. There was just porta potties and hand sanitizer, and I didn't know that, and it was just fucking horrible.
Alright, there's a lot of shit to unpack from that video. So Def Noodles went through made this girl go through this shit with no water, an expired driver's license, reckless driving while having an expired driver's license, horrible work environment, dropping $4,000 on a fucking vacation that he doesn't even know what it is. He didn't even do the research to it. What the fuck? So Def Noodles has decided to respond. Let me remind you guys that this girl did not mention Dennis Fatoza or never said Def Noodles in the video. She just said, my boss is a dumbass. My boss made me go to Burning Man with no water. Then Def Noodles responds to it, basically showing receipts, showing bank statements, showing the car he rented, and confirmed that he drives on an expired driver's license. Confirmed, and she also said that she was denying water throughout this trip because she assumed that there was gonna be water at Burning Man, and confirmed the whole driver's license shit. And fucking work. And Steven has decided, and Steven found a way to it twist it into the trolls being the trolls, which no, like Tiana herself said that it's not even. I mean, she didn't say it was that it wasn't the trolls, but I don't think it was the trolls in this situation. I think it was Def Noodles, basically being unprofessional with Tiana and how this whole shit show went down. And then Def Noodles decides to sue Tiana for a story time video. And then Tiana responds with this.
Okay, hi guys. So I was gonna do the part 2 to this story because I didn't get to finish my little story time video. But I got a text from my ex-boss last night saying that he's gonna sue me. I guess he got butthurt about the story time video. And then he lied about me on his live this morning and called me a clout chaser, even though I've literally never mentioned his name on my channel. Humble yourself. I've never mentioned his name ever. I just made a story time video because I'm a content creator who makes story times. It was an interesting story. If I wanted clout, I could make a whole YouTube video and end his career and go off. But I don't use his name. I've made one storytime video about this. Like, I just don't understand where that came from.
It's also said that this girl has signed an NDA to basically not talk about Def Noodles, or at least not talk about the content that Def Noodles is about to post on YouTube or some shit like that. I don't know how NDAs work. I know NDAs mean that you can't talk about specific things. You can't talk about what the person's doing or what the person did or whatever the fuck. And, you know, apparently this is now a legal battle because Def Noodles just sue everybody. Def Noodles that's like his number one priority. Sue everybody, you know, sue Keemstar, sue Tiana, sue Salvo, I guess. I don't fucking know. I don't think he filed a lawsuit against Salvo yet. I don't think he ever will, but like, just sue everyone. Oh, and I also forgot to mention this, that Def Noodles is also getting exposed because he doesn't have like a liquor license, or he doesn't have the proper license to operate his comedy club. Therefore, his comedy club is like illegal or some shit, where he can't sell alcohol there. And it's like, well, I mean, am I surprised? Disappointed, but not surprised. Def Noodles being typical Def Noodles, you know, just outright doing some dumbass shit. And Def Noodles went off the rails even more because, like, in a live stream, so Def Noodles was doing his typical podcast, you know, being a total, you know, having his Cope podcast with his buddies and friends. And, well, two things happened in the podcast. Well, I'm going to explain one of them. One of them is that Def Noodles got so ass hurt about Salvo Pancakes basically stealing the show, you know, being the star of the show. And now, in his third upcoming roast battle, he is now making people turn in their phones so no one can record, or in his words, nobody can record a comedian's doing their job or a comedian's at their work and don't leak their projects when they stream the roast battles on fucking YouTube.
The talk, because it was like on that show, I guess there was somebody who wasn't my fan because my fans were like more concerned about listening, but that person not only uploaded the video but like framed it in a really negative way. Anyway, I just talked. I thought it would be important because there were a lot of people who had been to that first show who were very disappointed at what happened, and people who had seen what happened after the show were also disappointed. So I thought it would be important to like have a conversation and talk and like kind of like get out what we were all thinking, right? Because we were all kind of on the same page. It was like insane what had just happened, right?
Right.
So we kind of just talked, and then at the end, I did my closer. I did my opener, which is like a very short, like one-liner essentially. So it's a joke about having erectile dysfunction. That's all it is. But yeah, that's that's the thing though. But we are like moving forward. I got some cases. We're gonna start having people check their phones in. So we'll give them two options. They'll either have the option of leaving their phones in their cars, or when they come in the building, they're gonna have to check in their phones.
Yeah, this guy has gone full Karen mode on this whole comedy shit. This is considered a Salvo W, boys and girls. Salvo Pancakes has literally bitched Def Noodles into getting so scared to be embarrassed again, that he is now asking people to turn in their phones so that he doesn't get embarrassed again, or because I feel like this is what's happening right now, because since Def Noodles can mute the sound, or someone back there can mute it, he can easily like manipulate a situation where something happened, and he could say, "Oh, this guy called me the N-word while it was muted or something," and we will never know because one, Def Noodles has our phones locked up in a fucking phone jail. Second of all, the audio is muted. Anything can be said, and anyone can say anything, and this is that's basically what I'm saying here. Like, Def Noodles can manipulate situations based on that telephone shit. You know, and also I get that comedians use this shit, but it's but it's kind of weird, the timing of it, because this is like after the salvo pancake shit, and he just talks about it on his like Cope podcast about it, and he was like, yeah, you're turning in your phones, and if you don't like it, get out the front door. You know what? I think you're just gonna pull less people in your comedy club. No, I think not a single person would want to come in your comedy club after that shit, dude.
Family. This is where if you're coming into our establishment and you plan on sneak recording the comedy that's happening here.
Sneak record Dennis. She literally pulled her phone out, and I assume you probably saw her phone, Dennis. I assume you did. Fuck. How do I stop this shit?
Guess what? Your phone's going in here, or you're going out the fucking door. That's how we're doing it.
Yeah, I'm probably going out the front door, and then I'm gonna just record from there. Because your comedy club, as Salvo said, it only took 10 steps to get from the front door to the stage. So I can just record from the front door, and we can get some good audio and good shit from there. So, yeah, I'm using a life hack, boys and girls.
Okay? No sneak recordings of what people are working on, because comedians should have the right to work on their bits before people start leaking them.
That leaked comedy is also posted on your YouTube channel, Dennis. I don't fucking get that. Like, if that's the case, you should stop uploading your roast battles on your YouTube channel then.
I don't fuck with that shit. People have recorded me without my knowledge. You do realize we live in the state of California, where you need people's permission to record them. I could sue all of you right now, but I'm not going to do it.
You know what, Dennis? If you want to talk about the law so bad, dude, you have broken multiple laws, dude. You've assaulted somebody, you've slandered somebody, you have ran a business, you've sold alcohol without a liquor license. Like, Dennis, if you want to talk about the freaking law, let's talk about the amount of laws you freaking broke.
Because I'm a kind individual.
You know what, Dennis? If you were actually a nice person, you know, I believe that, but you are suing a woman who is trying to get on food stamps because, you know, she quit her job because of your dumbass work environment, and then you're suing her because she made a story time video that didn't even mention your name, dude. Like, you could have just went quiet about this shit, and like, I mean, her TikTok followers wouldn't assume it was you, but now people know it was you. Another thing Def Noodles did that went completely off the rails is that he decided to have a stripper on his stream, which, I mean, I don't care about. It's totally cool. I mean, you can do whatever the fuck you want on your channel. But this girl decides to get naked. Like, take her fucking bra off her fucking chin. Like, she strapped her bra off while she was trying to, like, punish Steven for being a bad boy, apparently.
Jay and walking, that's not the same. It's not the same. Whoa!
So we're gonna
Whoa! TOS!
Oh, no!
We're gonna have to do
TOS! TOS!
Hold on!
Oh my God!
Put the titty away!
The titties are out!
Then Def Noodles decides to troll the internet by saying, I've been wrongfully banned, or I've been unfairly treated because YouTube decided to ban me because I showed literal porn on YouTube and Twitch. And, you know, YouTube and Twitch just don't want to free the nipple. And I think this wraps up the Def Noodles saga. So, what I gotta say, you know, with the death threats against Cabos, with the second roast battle, with the Tiana shit, with the comedian stuff, with the porn stuff, I think this is completely... I didn't think Def Noodles would actually go this far. You know, I made part 1 assuming that after his first roast battle, he's just gonna be done and just hang up the cleats and at least try and save his reputation. But no, he just goes over the walls and just says, "Fuck my reputation, I hope I can destroy it even more." And which he succeeds at doing. And I mean, I know I keep saying this, that I don't want to talk about it, but I'm just gonna stop making that promise, because I'm just gonna end up talking about it more and more and more every time Death Noodles just gets into more controversy. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This was a long video for me to make. I've been Helmet Chuck, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.